To watch the latest from India Science, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press on the bell icon to get notifications on all the science-related videos.
Hello and welcome. I am Bhagyashree Gupta.
And I am Harsha Sharma, and you're watching our show Science This Year. The year 2020 has seen many innovations and achievements in the field of science and technology, from working tirelessly on coronavirus vaccines to exploring options to build a life on the moon to using cloning technology to develop buffalo calf Tejas to discovery of golem snakehead. Indian minds have accomplished a lot this year.
Well, on New Year's Eve, we bring to you 10 path-breaking achievements of 2020. So let's begin our countdown. A tiny microbe brought the world to its knees this year. Yes, I am talking about the novel coronavirus. Our scientists toiled hard in the laboratory to stay one step ahead of the virus. In this dark phase, CSIR Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology scientists stepped up to develop a cheap paper test to diagnose COVID-19.
That's right. The ingenuity of this test is what makes it one of the most important scientific achievements of the year 2020. What is this test? Watch this video to know more.
Testing and more testing was the slogan for the pandemic. And for more testing, affordability was important. Scientists from CSIR's Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology stepped up and took on the challenge to provide India with a cheap yet accurate diagnostic kit. And in no time, came up with an ingenious indigenous diagnostic test named Feluda. Feluda is also the name of a fictional private detective from West Bengal, created by renowned writer and filmmaker Satyajit Ray. And this test, like the detective, detects the presence of the virus in testing samples. But detection is not the reason it has been named Feluda. Feluda actually stands for FN-Cas9 Editor-Linked Uniform Detection Assay. The test is based on CRISPR-Cas9 technology, a technology which earned a Nobel Prize this year. The technology is inspired by the defense mechanism used by bacteria against the virus. The first few steps in this test involve collecting a swab sample from the nasopharyngeal area, followed by extracting the RNA. The subsequent step is a one-step RT-PCR, which involves the conversion of the viral RNA to DNA and its amplification to multiple copies, everything in a single step. The amplification part is important as it increases the probability of detection. Then, a Feluda mixture that contains the amplified viral DNA, the guide RNA and the Cas9 protein is prepared. The guide RNA directs the Cas9 protein to bind only with the viral DNA. The Cas9 reads the SARS-CoV-2 sequence like a barcode and binds with the matching sequence of the viral DNA. This leads to the formation of a complex with the matching sequence of the viral DNA. When a paper strip is immersed in the mixture, the complex goes towards it due to lateral flow. A single line indicates a negative result, while the double line a positive result, much like a home pregnancy test. The USP of the test is that it is quite cheap, and so it can be employed for community testing, saving millions of rupees.
For a developing country like India, providing ample nutrition to its vast population has remained a challenge. Milk, which is a rich source of protein and calcium, can indeed alleviate nutrient deficiency in Indian kids.
You're absolutely right, Harsha. This year, scientists from Karnal-based National Dairy Research Institute reported developing a buffalo calf that will increase the milk production of the country to ensure that it reaches every mouth. Watch this clip to know more. Milk. It is said to be a complete food, enriched with nutrients. Milk satiates the taste buds and helps in the growth of the body. For a country like India with a large population of vegetarians, milk is an excellent source of nutrition. While the White Revolution was instrumental in increasing milk production in our country, the exponential rise in India's population continues to pose a challenge in milk production. To ensure that milk reaches every household, scientists from Karnal-based National Dairy Research Institute have successfully cloned its 16th buffalo calf, which has been Tejas. This calf of the Murrah breed was developed using an ear cell of a male buffalo. The semen from this clone can be used to impregnate female buffaloes to obtain high-yielding female buffaloes, which can give 10 to 12 liters of milk every day. In animal cloning, cells are obtained from the animal of a good breed, after which an egg cell is taken from another animal and its nucleus is removed. The cell nucleus from a good breed is then transferred to the nucleus-less egg. The process of fertilization is then induced by passing an electric current. After this, the embryo is then implanted in the womb of an adult female. This process produces a clone of the donor animal, retaining all its hereditary qualities. Currently, buffaloes of Murrah breed give an average of 6 to 8 liters of milk, while the females produced by the semen of Tejas will yield 10 to 12 liters of milk per day. Thus, the milk production in the country will increase along with the income of the farmers. Isn't this great?
Moving forward, are you struggling with blurry vision and a poor sight at night? If your answer is yes, you might need to get tested for cataract. If you have been diagnosed with cataract, your doctor will most likely ask you to go through a surgery that can cost anywhere between 15,000 rupees to a lakh. But now, researchers from Punjab's Institute of Nanoscience and Technology believe the potential solution could nip the cataract problem in the bud while also doing away with surgery.
Really, Harsha? How is that possible?
Well, here's a clue. It's a popular drug known to relieve pain, fever and inflammation. Watch this video to know more.
Cataract is caused when the eye lens becomes cloudy, failing to properly focus light on the retina, a part of the eye which allows us to see. This happens because proteins in the lens malfunction. They clump together, leading to a cloudy lens. Cataract is a leading cause of blindness in people aged 50 and above, according to the National Blindness and Visual Impairment Survey India 2015 to 2019. Though surgery is largely safe and has a high success rate, it is not foolproof. The report found that cataract-related surgical complications was the second highest causable factor for blindness. It is here that Punjab's Institute of Nanoscience and Technology potential solution could find value. The researchers developed a method to keep the proteins in the lens from aggregating. Blocking the clumping are nanorods derived from aspirin, a common pain reliever. In other words, aspirin is reduced to nanoparticle size, which ranges between 1 and 100 nanometers. To put this into context, nanoparticles are 100,000 times smaller than the diameter of a human hair. These nanoparticles are then elongated to resemble rods and are thus called nanorods. The researchers believe that these aspirin nanorods can be administered as eye drops. The finding paves the way for an effective and non-invasive method to treat cataracts. It could also help people who cannot afford expensive cataract treatments and surgeries.
Let's take a short break. We'll be right back on our show Science This Year. Stay tuned.
India Science Channel was launched in the year 2019 by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. The internet-based dedicated science web channel is being implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar, committed towards science communication. The channel features science documentaries, discussions on current topics, interviews, and different programs covering the entire landscape of science and technology to make science popular among the masses.
India Science is a flagship project of Vigyan Prasar. And over a year and a half, we have produced more than 1,200 videos of different sizes, lengths, and are from different genre and for different domains for the people of the country. We've taken, we have spoken, we've gotten, we've dived deep into the realms of different domains of science and technology, and we have gotten news, stories, films, videos, in almost every format that you can think of. OTT, for that matter, is a great platform that helps anybody to look for any news, any item, any video, any documentary at any point in time. All you need to do is to subscribe a channel for it.
One can also download India Science mobile app from Google Play Store or Apple Store to view this channel.
Welcome back to our show Science This Year. Harsha, have you watched the movie Lord of the Rings?
Yes, I have.
Well, then you might remember Gollum, a skinny creature that lived on an island in an underground lake. Now, the name Gollum is more than just fictional.
Really? How come?
Well, the character now shares its name with a new family of snakehead fish that also occupies the underground world. It roamed the underground fresh waters of Kerala undetected until the infamous 2018 floods in the state. Well, researchers say the odd-looking fish called Gollum snakehead dates back to the time of dinosaurs. This living fossil, which is shaped like an eel, has made it to our countdown. We will tell you why in this upcoming video. Snakeheads are predatory fish belonging to a family known as Chanadae. However, the recent find, the Gollum snakehead, is different. This year, scientists reported new striking details following a close investigation of the fish genes and anatomy. Their study showed that the Gollum snakehead did not share most of the traits typically seen in modern-day snakeheads. Instead, their features were more ancient. For instance, the modern-day snakeheads have evolved a suprabronchial organ that helps them breathe air, a trait absent in Gollum snakehead. The organ has allowed the modern-day snakeheads to migrate to North America. In their study, the researchers present evidence that the Gollum snakeheads were so different from the regular ones that they belong to an entirely new family, Enigmachandae. They also suggest that the two snakeheads were separated before Gondwana, a supercontinent which consisted of Africa, South America, Australia, Antarctica, the Indian subcontinent, and the Arabian Peninsula, broke up 180 million years ago. In their further studies, the researchers hope to find definitive answers to explain why the Gollum snakeheads were so different.
The next on our countdown is a study that could make habitation possible on the Earth's closest neighbor, the Moon. Researchers from the Indian Institute of Science and ISRO have developed sustainable brick-like structures, which are built using simple raw materials such as lunar soil, bacteria, human urine, and guar beans.
Well, another exciting part of this technology is that it can find applications back home on Earth. Let's watch the next video to know more. With Earth's resources declining, scientists are exploring other options that could provide humans an alternative home. and researchers hope to be able to build life on the moon. Building life on the lunar body will be an expensive mission, as transporting 1 pound of materials could cost about rupees 7.5 lakh. In their new study, researchers from IISc and ISRO show that it is possible to build human life on the moon while still making the process sustainable and cost-effective. All that they need are raw materials like lunar soil, guar gum, bacteria and urea, which is extracted from human urine. Guar gum, which is extracted from the guar plant, could replace cement, a material known for its high carbon footprint. The other ingredient is a bacterium called Sporosarcina pasteuri. It eats calcium and urea to produce calcium carbonate crystals as a precipitate. The guar gum strengthens the calcium precipitate. The ingredients need a few days of incubation, following which they form bricks of significant strength. These bricks could be then assembled into structures on the moon. The team also found that local soil bacteria known as Bacillus valenciensis could also do the job at a cheaper cost.
As the coronavirus bared its fangs early this year, various vaccine development efforts commenced globally. Similarly, in India, researchers burned the midnight oil to develop safe and effective vaccines. This prompt response is what makes vaccine development efforts a scientific achievement of this year. Here's more about it.
Started in Wuhan, China last year, the coronavirus fear is what dominated the news and our lives this year. Like the whole world, Indian science also focused on the solutions to pandemic this year, and various solutions like hand sanitizers, PP kits, air purifiers, disinfection systems, test kits reached the market in no time. But what remained awaited was current day's elixir of life, or the vaccine. While vaccine development usually takes years and decades, the whole scientific community worked day and night to compress this duration of vaccine development. Academia and industry came together to give the nation the vaccine and free India from fear of coronavirus. In India, we have a total of 30 vaccine candidates, which are at various stages of development. While India is testing vaccines which have developed internationally to know if it suits Indians, we have 3 indigenous vaccines which were developed in India. These are Covaxin, which was developed by Bharat Biotech in collaboration with ICMR and utilizes an inactivated virus platform, which has been earlier used and is well tested. This vaccine is in phase 3 clinical trial. The second indigenous vaccine is ZyCoV-D, which is a collaborative effort of Zydus Cadila and Department of Biotechnology. This vaccine utilizes DNA platform, which is relatively new but has an advantage of higher scale of manufacturing. It has completed phase 2 trials and is soon going for phase 3 trials. The third Indian vaccine is HGCO19, which is an mRNA-based vaccine developed by Genova and Department of Biotechnology. The USP of this vaccine is that it can stay stable at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius and therefore will not require more expensive cold storage facilities apart from its speedy manufacturing. This vaccine has passed the animal studies and has recently been given nod for phase 1 clinical trials. With these indigenous vaccines, India, which is known as vaccine manufacturer, will now enter the league of vaccine developers as well. Moving to the next topic, as India moves on the path of sustainable development, solar energy is going to play a pivotal role in providing clean and green energy. This year, Indian scientists have paved the way for maximum use of solar energy. Watch this next video to understand why this research is in a countdown. many parts of the country receive sunlight throughout the year, solar energy is promising for India. However, there are various impediments to using solar energy to its full potential. This year, IIT Madras scientists reported making a solar cell material which will extend the solar power use. Actually, solar cells convert sunlight to electricity and are the basic component of any solar device. The electricity produced by the solar cells is stored in batteries until further use. However, storing the energy in batteries is expensive. Another way to make use of the energy generated in solar cells energy is to split water to produce hydrogen. Hydrogen is a zero-emission and high calorific fuel which can be used for driving electric vehicles. Primarily, oxide-based semiconductors have been used as a material for solar water splitting devices. However, since the last decade, halide perovskites are being hailed as a better photovoltaic material. However, they are not stable. IIT Madras scientists have discovered a kind of perovskite which is stable and shows their utility in making solar fuel systems that split water to produce hydrogen fuel. This research paves the path of use of perovskites in solar fuels technology. This material is extremely easy to synthesize and doesn't require any sophisticated equipment, and hence it has immense potential for commercialization. This discovery is being considered as a breakthrough in terms of material development. Surely it will power India's solar dreams.
Time for another short break. We'll be right back on our show Science This Year. Stay tuned.
India Science Channel was launched in the year 2019 by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. The internet-based dedicated science web channel is being implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar, committed towards science communication. The channel features science documentaries, discussions on current topics, interviews, and different programs covering the entire landscape of science and technology to make science popular among the masses.
India Science is a flagship project of Vigyan Prasar. And over a year and a half, we have produced more than 1,200 videos of different sizes, lengths, and are from different genre and for different domains for the people of the country. We've spoken, we've dived deep into the realms of different domains of science and technology, and we have gotten news, stories, films, videos in almost every format that you can think of. OTT, for that matter, is a great platform that helps anybody to look for any news, any item, any video, any documentary at any point in time. All you need to do is to subscribe a channel for it.
One can also download India Science mobile app from Google Play Store or Apple Store to view this channel.
Welcome back to our show Science This Year. Stubble burning or crop residue burning is a major source of winter pollution in Delhi. The air pollution has been breaking all the records and has risen to dangerous levels.
But there is still hope, because this year scientists of Indian Agriculture Research Institute came up with a solution to tackle the problem. Watch this video to know more.
Every November, Northern India experiences some of the most dangerous air pollution levels in the world. Typical pollution sources like car exhaust, construction dust, and industrial emissions are partially responsible. But there is another factor that makes Delhi's air deadly in winters. Scientists estimate that spending a day outside in these conditions is like smoking 50 cigarettes. The air pollution in Delhi spikes up in October-November. It raises the air pollution level to 50 times the safe level. The sudden rise in pollution is due to stubble burning. But this year, researchers of Indian Agricultural Research Institute came up with a set of 4 capsules, which decomposes the stubble in an eco-friendly way. Generally, it takes at least 45 days for paddy straw to decompose, but these capsules could decompose the stubble within 25 to 30 days, which gave enough time to farmers to prepare fields. The capsules were PUSA decomposers, which is a microbial-based technology which degrades the waste and converts it into nutrient-enriched compost. This was an eco-friendly and environmentally useful technology. This method was cheap and also provided better soil quality. The cost of employing this method was about Rs 300 per acre, including the cost of labor. That is not the only benefit when the paddy straw decomposes in the sand. It improves the quality of soil better than the fertilizers. Hence, by using this method, farmers could get rid of paddy straw and have better soil.
Bhagyashree, do you know what cryptography is?
Not exactly. What's that?
Well, cryptography is a method of protecting information and communications through the use of codes, so that only those for whom the information is intended can read and process it. With the advent of technologies, cryptography becomes an important tool. And this year, researchers at the Raman Research Institute in Bengaluru have implemented India's first quantum cryptographic scheme to enable secure communication of sensitive data. Watch this report to know more.
Raman Research Institute in Bangalore has implemented India's first quantum cryptographic scheme to enable secure communication of sensitive data. Cryptography is the process of locking data so that only those who have the right key can read it. Quantum cryptography uses the principle of quantum mechanics to encrypt data to transmit it in a way that cannot be hacked. This method enhances the security of communication by using quantum mechanics phenomena such as the Heisenberg uncertainty principle and no cloning theorem. The process enables 2 remote users to generate and share a secret key composed of a string of 0 and 1 bits, which they can use to encrypt and decrypt secret messages. A unique property of quantum cryptography is that any unauthorized break-in is immediately detected. It also protects the encrypted information from threats that might arise from future advances in computational power. This year, a team indigenously developed a protocol on secure communication between 2 Indian ground stations. This was India's first and only project on satellite-based quantum cryptography. Quantum cryptography is one of the crucial elements of the national mission on quantum technologies. Moving forward, it took some time for ISRO to launch its first mission in 2020. On November 7th, ISRO launched Earth Observation Satellite EOS-01 and 9 other satellites in its first mission for 2020. Watch this report to know more. India's Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, in its 51st flight, successfully launched EOS-01 along with 9 other satellites from Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota on November 7, 2020. After 15 minutes and 20 seconds, EOS-01 was successfully injected into its orbit. Subsequently, 9 commercial satellites were also deployed into their desired orbit. EOS-01 stands for Earth Observatory Satellite. It is an Earth observation satellite which has several applications in agriculture, forestry and disaster management.
Under this COVID pandemic, really ISRO, as per the requirement from national need, the team ISRO, as usual, raised to the occasion, and they worked very carefully with limited staff at the same time meeting all the protocols outlined by government, and safely they worked, and also without compromising any of the quality.
So those were the major achievements in the field of science and technology. The year 2020 has been path-breaking yet a challenging one. Science has played an instrumental role in helping the world face the pandemic.
And with that, we bid farewell to 2020 and conclude our show.
Take care and have a wonderful new year.